The trailer for The Summer I Turned Pretty, Season 3, Episode 11. This doesn't just tease another chapter of Belly's story, it shakes the very foundation of her love triangle. Every frame feels like a goodbye to the summers we once knew, and every moment hints at Belly finally making the choice fans have been waiting for. Is this the end of her back and forth between Conrad and Jeremiah, or the beginning of something entirely unexpected? Asterisk, when we talk about The Summer I Turned Pretty, it's not just another teen romance. It's a journey of growing up, of summer, innocence fading into real-life heartbreaks, and of love that never comes easy. Season 3 has been the most emotional yet, with Belly caught in a whirlwind of loyalty, grief, and impossible decisions. And now, Episode 11 feels like the breaking point. The trailer wastes no time pulling us in. From the very first shot, there's a heavy, almost nostalgic atmosphere. We see Belly in quiet reflection, her eyes distant, as if she's carrying the weight of every summer that has led her here. That opening alone tells us this episode is going to be different. It's not just about teenage crushes anymore. It's about the moment Belly steps into adulthood and learns what it really means to choose. This introduction is powerful because it sets up one clear theme: finality. Every beat in the trailer whispers that something is ending, whether it's her ties to one of the Fisher brothers, her childhood version of love, or even her connection to the summer house itself. The camera lingers on moments of silence, on looks that say more than words, and on familiar places that suddenly feel fragile, like they're slipping away. And of course, the love triangle is right at the center. For 2 seasons, Belly's heart has been torn between Conrad's quiet intensity and Jeremiah's steady warmth. Fans have debated endlessly. Is she meant for the boy who has always been her dream, or the boy who has always been by her side? The trailer teases that this episode is where she finally answers that question, not just for them, but for herself. What makes this so gripping is the way the trailer hints at a choice that isn't simple. It doesn't paint Conrad as the tragic hero or Jeremiah as the safe option. It shows them both as real, flawed, and deeply human. Conrad carries regret in his eyes, like he knows he's running out of time to make things right. Jeremiah, on the other hand, seems to radiate hope, but also a quiet fear that maybe love alone won't be enough. Belly is caught between these 2 forces, and we can feel the tension in every frame. But the genius of this trailer is that it doesn't just focus on romance, it also ties Belly's choice back to family and memory. The presence of Susanna, even in absence, still lingers over every decision. She was the heart of these summers, and her loss has reshaped everything. Belly isn't just choosing between 2 boys. She's choosing what version of her past she wants to carry into the future. That's why this episode feels like the climax of the entire story. And as the trailer plays out, we realize this isn't going to be a simple, happy ending. There's a weight, a bittersweet quality to every smile and every glance. It's the feeling you get when you know something is ending, even if you don't want it to. Oh, the beach house, the late night swims. Idea of summer lasting forever, Episode 11 looks. It's like it's about closing the door on that chapter once and for all. So, when we ask who will Belly choose, the real question isn't just about Conrad or Jeremiah, it's about who Belly chooses to become. That's the emotional punch of this trailer, and why Episode 11 feels like the turning point we've been waiting for. Asterisk, the trailer for Episode 11 doesn't rely on flashy dialogue or overthought drama. It speaks through carefully chosen moments, each one loaded with meaning. To truly understand where this season is heading, we need to break down those moments one by one. Because every shot feels like a clue to Belly's ultimate decision. The first sequence shows Belly standing by the water's edge. The ocean stretches. Out in front of her, calm yet endless, almost like it's mirroring the emotional storm she's holding back. The camera lingers on her face, no words, just silence. That silence says everything. Belly isn't the same carefree girl from the first season, someone carrying the weight of choices that can't be undone. This opening shot sets the tone, quiet, reflective, and deeply personal. Then we cut to Conrad. He's sitting alone on the porch of the summer house, the same spot where so many memories were made. But this time, he looks different. There's a heaviness in his posture, like he knows the time for running and hiding is over. His eyes tell the story: regret, longing, and a desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, it isn't too late.
Oh.
The camera doesn't need to show him speaking. His silence speaks louder than words. It's the kind of shot that makes fans wonder. Is Conrad ready to finally fight for Belly, or is this his goodbye? Jeremiah's moment comes next, and it's a sharp contrast. He's in the kitchen, laughing with Belly, sunlight streaming through the windows. It feels warm, safe, almost ordinary, but that's what makes it powerful. Jeremiah has always represented stability, the kind of love that feels like home. The way he looks at Belly here, it's not dramatic or complicated. It's simple, but in that simplicity, there's fear. He knows he could lose her, and that fear hides behind every smile. One of the most haunting moments in the trailer is a shot of Belly walking through the summer house at night. The lights are dim, the rooms are quiet, and it feels almost ghostly. She pauses in Susanna's old room, running her hand over the photographs. The weight of memory is everywhere. This isn't just a house, it's a symbol of everything she's loved and lost. By placing this shot in the trailer, the creators remind us that Belly's choice isn't just about romance, it's about holding on to the past versus letting go. Another striking detail comes in the group scenes. We see Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah together, but there's always space between them. The editing is intentionally cut, feels like it's emphasizing distance. Belly stands in the middle, but she never truly leans toward either brother. That visual distance tells us her decision hasn't been made. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. And then there's the beach scene. Belly runs across the sand at dusk, the sky painted in fading colors. For a brief moment, she looks free, almost like the young girl from season 1, but the music swells into something heavier, and the smile fades. This isn't freedom, it's a goodbye. That running isn't just about joy. It's about running toward a choice, or perhaps away from one. The trailer also uses sound to heighten the emotion. The music is soft at first, piano notes, slow and thoughtful, but as the trailer builds, it shifts into a heart-racing rhythm. Overlapping voices fade in, Conrad whispering her name, Jeremiah asking if she's sure, Belly's own words echoing in uncertainty. It's not about what's said, it's about how it makes us feel. The sound design is telling us that everything is building toward a moment of no return. Finally, the trailer closes with a shot that fans can't stop talking about. Belly, standing. Alone on the pier, the water behind her, the wind in her hair. She turns, looking back toward the house, and the screen cuts to black. No words, no final reveal, just her gaze frozen between past and future. That's the essence of episode 11. A girl who must decide who she is, who she loves, and whether she's ready to move forward. This trailer doesn't hand us the answers, it leaves us dangling, desperate and full of questions. But what it does give us is atmosphere. Heavy with nostalgia, charged with tension, and pulsing with the feeling that the end of an era is near. And in that sense, the trailer isn't just teasing episode 11, it's teasing the emotional conclusion of the entire story we've followed since the very beginning, asterisk. What makes episode 11 so powerful isn't just the romantic tension, it's how the trailer quietly reminds us that every character has been on their own journey, shaped by loss, love, and time. To really understand the stakes of Belly's final choice, we have to step back and see how far each of them has come. Let's start with Belly. The girl we first met in season 1 was dreamy, unsure, and almost blinded by her crush on Conrad. Saw love as something magical, something that could sweep her away. But now, she's standing on the edge of adulthood, and her face in the trailer tells us everything. She's not the girl waiting for someone to choose her anymore. She's the woman who has to choose for herself. The silence in her expressions, the way she walks through the house, the way she stares at the ocean, it all shows a new maturity. The love triangle might still be alive, but Belly has grown beyond being just the center of it. This episode looks like the one where she decides what love really means to her. Is it passion? Is it comfort? Or is it independence? Now, Conrad. His arc has always been about walls building them, hiding behind them, and then slowly letting them crumble. From the very beginning, Conrad has been the brooding mystery. The boy who carried too much pain on his shoulders to let anyone in. But the trailer shows us a Conrad who looks worn down, stripped of excuses. He's not just the quiet heartthrob anymore. He's a man facing the consequences of silence. That shot of him sitting alone on the porch isn't just sadness. Realization? He knows Belly could slip away for good. And in that realization, we see a new Conrad. Vulnerable, open, maybe even ready to admit that love requires more than waiting. It requires action. And then there's Jeremiah, the golden boy who has always been easy to love. His story has often been overshadowed by Conrad's intensity. But Jeremiah represents something deeper, the idea that love can be steady, safe, and consistent. In the trailer, his laughter with Belly feels genuine, but there's something under it: fear. For the first time, Jeremiah isn't just the confident brother who believes Belly will see him. He's the one afraid of being left behind. That's growth in itself, because it shows that his love isn't just about chasing a dream. It's about realizing the fragility of holding on to someone. Jeremiah's arc is about learning that even safe love comes with risk. In episode 11, seems to put that risk front and center. But what makes this love triangle different from so many others is how deeply it's tied to family and memory. Susanna's presence is everywhere, even though she's gone. Her love for the kids, her bond with Belly, and her dream of summers lasting forever, it all lingers like a ghost in the background. Every choice Belly makes feels like it's haunted. By Susanna's absence, Conrad's grief is still visible in the way he carries himself. Jeremiah's optimism is still shaped by the need to protect what's left of their family. And Belly, caught in the middle, isn't just choosing between two brothers, she's choosing how she wants to honor the love and memories that built her. Thematically, the trailer screams transition: childhood versus adulthood, memory versus reality, fantasy versus choice. Belly standing alone on the pier symbolizes this perfectly. She's at the edge of something bigger than romance. The water behind her is her past, deep, vast, and impossible to hold on to. The house in the distance is her childhood, filled with laughter and heartbreak in equal measure, and her gaze. It's the future. Episode 11 isn't just asking who Belly will live, it's asking who Belly will be when she steps away from this summer for the last time. Even the editing of the trailer leans into this theme. The constant cuts between laughter and silence, closeness and distance, light and shadow. It's painting a picture of duality. Love is never just one thing. It's not only passion, not only safety, not only memory. It's all of them, tangled together. And Belly has to decide which version of love she can carry forward. So, when fans argue about Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah, the trailer seems to quietly suggest something else. Maybe this story isn't about choosing a boy at all. Maybe it's about choosing growth, choosing strength, and choosing the kind of love that allows Belly to finally see herself. That's the genius of this arc. Every character is flawed, every choice is complicated, and every moment feels like it's leading to an ending that will hurt no matter what, because growing up always hurts. And that's what The Summer I Turned Pretty has always been about. Just the sweetness of first love, but the pain of realizing that nothing stays the same forever. Asterisk. The question that has lingered since the very first season now stands like a shadow over episode 11. Who will Belly choose? For years, this love triangle has been the heartbeat of The Summer I Turned Pretty. But if the trailer has taught us anything, it's that Belly's final choice is not simply about Conrad or Jeremiah, it's about the person she's becoming. Still, the hints are there, tucked into every frame. It's time we try to decode them. Let's begin with the evidence pointing to Conrad. His presence in the trailer is subtle but powerful. That lingering shot of him on the porch, his posture, heavy, his eyes searching, it feels like a man finally ready to bare his heart. Fans of Team Conrad will recognize the weight of this moment. The boy who has always struggled with his feelings might finally find the courage to speak them. The editing lingers on his silence, as if daring us to believe this could be his moment of redemption. And Belly's distant stares toward the ocean could easily be read as reflections of her oldest, deepest love. After all, First loves may fade, but they never truly disappear. But then we have Jeremiah. His energy in the trailer is warm, full of sunlight, and yet tinged with vulnerability. That scene in the kitchen, laughing with Belly, feels so natural-like. The world makes sense when they're together. Unlike Conrad, Jeremiah doesn't need to chase big dramatic confessions. His love is steady, grounded, and woven into the everyday moments. If we look closely, we see how the camera frames him and Belly together, bathed in light, with open spaces between them, as though the future is wide and waiting.
Oh.
Jeremiah's story is about being chosen not because he is safe, but because he is seen. And in episode 11, Belly may finally recognize the quiet strength of that love. Yet, there's a third possibility, the one the trailer whispers rather than shouts. What if Belly chooses herself? That final shot of her standing alone on the pier is more than just symbolism, it's a statement. The girl who once defined herself by who she loved is now standing with no one beside her, facing the unknown. Maybe the final choice isn't Conrad or Jeremiah. Maybe it's Belly realizing she doesn't have to decide right now, that she can step into adulthood without clinging to either brother. This would be the boldest ending, one that breaks from the love triangle formula and redefines Belly's story as one of independence and growth. The trailer's genius is that it doesn't give us clear answers. Instead, it plays with ambiguity. Belly's smile fades as quickly as it appears. Her gaze shifts between past and future. The music swells not into triumph, but into bittersweet silence. Each moment feels like it could tilt in any direction. That uncertainty is the point the audience is meant to feel as torn as Belly does. And here's where speculation gets even more interesting. The dialogue snippets. We hear Conrad whispering her name, Jeremiah asking if she's sure aren't. Just filler. They're carefully placed to raise questions. Is Conrad's plea too late? Is Jeremiah's question a sign that he already knows her heart belongs elsewhere? Or are both brothers destined to step aside, leaving Belly to stand on her own? Its themes of memory and closure also weigh heavily. Belly's walk through Susanna's room suggests she's saying goodbye. Not just to the house, but to the summers, where love was simple and choices felt far away. Choosing Conrad might mean holding on to her first love. Choosing Jeremiah might mean stepping into a hopeful future. And choosing herself might mean leaving the summer house on everything it represents behind. Each option carries a cost, and that's why her final choice feels so monumental. But no matter what, one truth stands out. Someone's heart will break. The beauty of the summer I turned pretty has always been its honesty. And endings are rarely clean. Whether Belly chooses Conrad, Jeremiah, or herself. Episode 11 promises to hurt and to heal in ways we don't expect. And maybe that's the point. The story was never really about one perfect choice. It was about growing up, about learning that love is messy, and about realizing that summers don't last forever. Belly's decision is not just the end of a triangle, it's the end of an era. So when the screen cuts to black, leaving Belly alone on that pier, it isn't just a tease, it's an invitation. An invitation for fans to ask themselves, who do you believe she'll choose? Who do you want her to choose? And what would that choice say about who Belly has become? Because if this trailer has shown us anything, it's that episode 11 won't just close a chapter. It will redefine the entire story we thought we knew.